Welcome the students of class 7. Welcome to our social science history class. And today in this class, today we're going to discuss the chapter 4 subunit. It is the major military campaigns of Jahangir, Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb. Okay. In previous classes, I have already told you and described in detail about the military campaigns of Mughal Emperor Akbar. Now today we are going to discuss the military campaigns of the rest of the three important Mughal emperors. Okay, so it is present in page number 49, so open page number 49 and start following. So Jahangir also led various military expeditions towards different states, okay, towards the different regions of the Indian subcontinent. And the first military expedition led by Jahangir, it is against the Shishodhya Rajput ruler of Mewar. And King Amar Singh, the Rajput ruler Amar Singh, accepted the Mughal service after this expedition. But at the time, the Mughal prince Khusru was the son of Jahangir, became rebel, and the Jahangir sent forces against Khusru, and finally in 1606 Khusru was captured and punished. So this incident occurred just after the coronation of Jahangir. Okay, but successfully he suppressed the rebellion, and it was quite similar to the rebel attitude of Jahangir himself when he was rebel against his father Akbar. And there are some other military expeditions led by Jahangir against the Ahom kingdom, situated in present day Assam. Okay, in present day Assam, the Ahom kings, they ruled, and the South Indian states, South Indian small Shia states, these are also denied to accept the superiority of the Mughal Emperor Jahangir. So Jahangir sent troops against the Bijapur, Golconda, Bidar and Ahmednagar. He also sent troops against the Kangra ruler of Himachal Pradesh. So these missions, these military expeditions, all the time was not successful, but he tried to conquer those regions, okay, and try to suppress those rebellions. So there is another incident that was happened at the time, that he's due to some personal enmity in 1615, Jahangir killed the 5th Sikh Guru, and this was a complete mess and created problems for the empire in the later decades as well as the later centuries. Okay, and it brought enmity with the Sikhs. He also successfully suppressed the Portuguese pirates, who were at the time very much disturbing in the Indian Ocean regions and harmed the Indian Ocean trade. So you know that Vasco da Gama arrived in 1498 in the port of Calicut or Kozhikode in present day. But after that, some Portuguese merchants, they started piracy in the Indian Ocean region, and it created some problem for the trade and revenue sources of Mughal Empire. So that's why Jahangir led military expedition against those Portuguese pirates and successfully defeated them. As well as he successfully subdued the Afghan rebels Sher Khan in Bengal, and the Subadar of Bengal, he defeated Sher Khan, okay, who was the Jagirdar of Burdwan. And another interesting incident happened at the time, that the wife of Shah Jahan, the wife of Jahangir, Nur Jahan also abducted, and he was taken to the Delhi just after the defeat of Sher Khan, okay, from Bengal. So this is the military expeditions of Jahangir. Now the next ruler, Shah Jahan military expedition. The Shah Jahan ruled from 1627 from 1658. In this time period, Afghan noble Khan Jahan Lodi rebelled against Shah Jahan and also defeated. Campaigns were launched against Ahmadnagar, and the Bundela ruler Chhatrasal was defeated, and the capital Orcha was seized by the Mughal forces. On the other side, the campaign against the Deccan states continued, as well as in the northwest, the campaigns to seize Balkh from the Uzbek. Balkh is a province situated in the northwestern provinces of Mughal Empire. So Balkh was seized at the time by the Uzbeks, that was the main competitor of the Mughals. And finally, they captured the Balkh. But there are some unsuccessful events against the Safavids, okay, because Safavids of Kandahar, they attacked the Kandahar at that time. The Safavids of Iran and Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan defeated successfully, and he was defeated by the Safavids. His army was defeated by the Safavids of Persia, and Kandahar was lost, and they lost Kandahar. In 1632, Ahmadnagar, a southern state, was finally annexed, and Bijapur forces sued for peace. So this is the great achievement for Shah Jahan in South India. In 1657 to 1658, there was conflict over the succession amongst Shah Jahan's son Aurangzeb and Shah Jahan's sons, and Aurangzeb, Dara Shikoh, Suja and Murad, they fought with each other for the Mughal throne, and Aurangzeb was finally successful, and he killed Dara Shikoh, and the other two brothers, they flew away and defeated the other two brothers and took the throne of Mughal Empire. And the last few years of life, Shah Jahan was imprisoned in the Agra fort. Now, the military expeditions led by Aurangzeb. The Aurangzeb was ruled from 1658 to 1707. In this time period, in the northeast, the Ahoms were defeated in 1663. It is a great achievement of Aurangzeb when he defeated the Ahoms in northeast India. But when they rebelled again in 1680s, the campaigns were led against by the Aurangzeb. He also sent campaigns in the northwest against the Yusufzai tribe. Yusufzai tribes, they mainly lived in the northwestern provinces of Mughal, on the side northwestern side of Mughal Empire, and the Sikhs were temporarily, and the expedition against the Sikhs were temporarily successful, but you know that enmity was already created, so that's why the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb also busy to with the conflict in the northwestern side with the Sikhs. Mughals' intervention in the succession and internal politics of the Rathore Rajput of Marwar led to their rebellion. Okay, and campaigns against the Maratha chieftain Shivaji were initially successful. At the time, they successfully captured Shivaji in South India. But what happened when Aurangzeb insulted Shivaji, he was escaped and declared himself an independent king and resumed his campaigns against the Mughals. So this was a great political failure of the Aurangzeb to okay, and this was led actually decline of the Mughal emperor later, because the Aurangzeb had to live his last 25 years in South India. So at the time also, Prince Akbar is one of the son of Aurangzeb, also rebelled against him and received support from the Maratha leaders and all the Shia states of South India. And as well as, and finally when Aurangzeb sent military expeditions, he fled to Safavid Iran, who was the enemy of Mughals at the time. Now the second phase of Aurangzeb military expedition was against the Bijapur and Golconda, and Bijapur are annexed in 1685 and Golconda in 1687. So from 1698, Aurangzeb personally managed campaigns in the Deccan against the Marathas, who started guerrilla warfare. Guerrilla warfare means attack suddenly. They appeared from the mountains and the terrains of the Deccan Plateau, suddenly attacked the Mughal forces and vanished. So in this way, they continued the warfare for more than 25 years. And Aurangzeb also had to face the rebellion in North India of the Sikhs, Jats and Satnamis, and in the northeast of the Ahoms, and in the Deccan of the Marathas. So you will read about these provincial forces, provincial rulers in chapter number 10. And in 1707, his death was followed by a succession conflict amongst his sons. And finally, his son Bahadur Shah, he succeeded in the conflict and got the Mughal throne. But from this time, from 1707, the decline of the Mughal empire started. Okay, students, so this is the important military expedition of the rest of the rulers of Mughal Empire. So I hope you have understood. That's all from today's class. See you in the next class with another subunit. Bye.